Hello, my name is Darren Thomas and I'm the Director of Educational Research Techniques. In this video, we're going to take a look at how to solve a rational equation. So let's go ahead and get started. So a rational equation is basically where you have rational expressions being used to try in some sort of an equation format. So and the example that we're going to be looking at as follows. So we got 1 over y plus 2 over 3 equals 1 over 5. So here you can see we have several rational expressions, and the mystery, the challenge that we really have that's unique here is dealing with these different denominators like so. And so of course the first thing that we have to do when we're addressing this type of a problem is, okay, what is the least common denominator? So in this situation we have the following denominators, 5, 3, and y. Now as I look at this, well, 5 times 3, what's the least common denominator or least common multiple of 5 times 3? It'll probably be 15, because 5 times 3 is 15. And there's nothing we can really do with the y, so we're just going to put the y here like that. So in other words, our least common denominator is going to be 15y. Now, what do we do next? Well, this is where it gets a little bit more complicated, but it's not overwhelming. We need to, of course, use this least common denominator and multiply it across in order to deal with the situation here. So in other words, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have 15y over 1. Now, of course, I know you don't need the 1, but for those of us who are not as comfortable with math, I'm making this a rational expression just for consistency. And what we're going to do here is we're going to distribute this over our 1 over y plus our 2 over 3. Also, we're going to also distribute this 15y over 1 with our, whatever comes after the equal sign, which is 1 over 5 in this situation. That's what we're going to be doing here. Now, so what we're going to do now is we're going to distribute like I just said. So 15y times 1 is going to be 15y. And then 1 times 1 is just going to be 1. You just multiply across. And then 15y times 2, we'll put a plus sign here, is going to be 30y. And then, of course, 1 times 3 is going to be 3. And then, of course, over here, 15y times 1 is going to be 15y. And, of course, 1 times 5, like there, is going to be 5. So let me go ahead and move to the next screen. So we have right here 15y over y plus 30y over 3 equals 15y over 5. Now what I need to do now is I need to simplify what I have so far. So y over y, this cancels out and it just becomes 15. 30y over 3, well that's going to be 10y because 30 divided by 3 is going to be 10. I don't do anything to the y, so plus 10y. And then 15y over 5, well again, I do nothing to the y, but 15 over 5 is going to be 3, so I have 3y left over here like so. And now, you can see we just have a basic general equation. There's nothing fancy to be said about this. And so to complete the process, we just subtract 10y from both sides, and we have 15 equals negative 7y, because we subtracted 10 here. And then we divide both sides by negative 7. And then over here we get our answer, we get our answer, and that answer is going to be y equals negative 15 over 7. And we're essentially done at this point. Now you can plug this back into the original equation if you want, but now I just want to give you one little tip here. If you chose to go back and solve this in the original equation, this is what you're going to have. You're going to have 1 over 15 over y, this is going to be a negative, plus 2 over 3 equals 1 over 5. Now when you solve this, remember that you have a complex rational expression here. So what you can do is just deal with this from the beginning. And so you basically have 1 over 1 because the numerator is just it's not complex. You can make it complex by making it 1 over 1. 1 over 1 divided by negative 15 over 7. Now if you do that, let me just show you here. So here's what I originally had. I had 1 over, negative 15 over 7. Now, what that comes out to is 1 over 1. When you multiply, you flip it. So now it's 7 over 5, but it's negative. If you do that and you finish off the problem, you'll get the answer. And that, remember, because you have to flip it. Whenever you divide two rational expressions, you find the reciprocal of the second one, the one to the right of the division sign, if you will, or if you want to say it another way, you find the reciprocal of the denominator, if you will. So let me go back and try to summarize what happened in this particular video before we conclude. So in this video, we took a look at how to solve a rational equation. A rational equation is just an equation that includes rational expressions. That's all it is. And so we have this problem here, 1 over y plus 2 over 3 equals 1 over 5. We first had to find the least common denominator of the denominators, and we got 15y. Once we knew that, it was just a matter of taking this least common denominator and to just multiplying across. And by doing that, you get something nice and clean here where you're able to simplify the expression and just solve for the remaining. So you can see here that we got, once we multiplied it, we got this nice clean equation here, and then we were able to simplify it on this screen. You know, we got rid of this, and we got rid of this. I talked about that. And we got a nice clean equation here, 15 plus 10y equals 3y. This is because we took the least common denominator and we distributed it across each expression, each rational expression in the equation, and that's what we were doing. And so by doing that, you get this simple equation here, and you just take your Algebra 1 skills and solve it as normal, and you're done. So I hope this video was useful for you as you try to address your rational equations. My name is Darren Thomas. I'm the Director of Educational Research Techniques. Take care.